Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Exoria. So I'm actually picking up, like, pretty much right after last episode. I went and dumped my inventory and checked on my core base, and that's all I've done. I'm ready to do this. Before we go in there, though, before we step into the portal, there is two things that I want to craft before we do that. Just to make our lives a whole lot easier, and you'll understand why once we get in there. The first thing I want to make is, let me eat. Let me eat first. The first thing I want to make is a hang glider, because the terrain within that dimension is treacherous. And yes, it is craftable for us. So what, altogether we're going to need 12 pieces of leather, and then we just need some sticks. 2, 2, and 1 I think it is. Alright, so glider wings, 2 of those, and then 2 glider wings and a stick gets us our hang glider. There we go. And then the other thing that I want to make, just really fast, knock this out, is a Rod of the Sky from Botania. I told you we'd be making some of these rods as we needed them. This is the first one that we are going to need. So Rune of Air is just mana powder, mana steel, white carpet, feather, and string. Or any kind of carpet. And I've got a piece of carpet somewhere, right? Yeah, right here. Oh, and the rod is... okay, it's a feather. Let me grab one of those too real quick. Like a second one. And then we're going to need a piece of living rock, but we've got that over here. Okay, so we're going to make our first rune. Oh wait, before I do that, I need to turn that into mana steel and turn that into mana powder. I think I've actually got mana steel in that chest, but that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and throw this stuff on there. And there we go, it's starting to run. Let's grab a piece of living rock and a wand of the forest. And then I also want a living wood stick. Or twig, I'm sorry. One of those. And... okay, this... almost done. I could set up more spreaders and make it faster. And we could probably start looking at upgrades pretty soon. Throw a piece of living rock on there. Right click it, and there we go. Drop pop candy advancement. And we got our Rune of Air. And then we'll just craft this together. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're ready to go. We are ready to enter the portal now. That's the only two things I wanted, was just those two little things. And then make sure we have our mana tablet on us, because this does require mana to work. But basically what Rod of the Skies does is if you hold right click, it's going to shoot you up into the air really quick. It's going to consume some mana. It does only work for so long that it has to recharge. When it's recharging, you're immune to fall damage. But you're not going to be able to shoot yourself up. And then we use the hang glider, of course, to hang glide and travel with the vertical. We have this for vertical acceleration, this for horizontal acceleration. Basically, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's enter this. I think I'm ready. I've got light sources. I've got, I've got extra fairy dust on hand. I do. I probably don't need all this stuff, but I'm going to take it because I don't care. I need to upgrade this backpack. I keep forgetting to do that. Anyways, let's enter this thing. It's this like big burst of lag that we get. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Advancement made, first breath. And there we go. Here's our portal. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as home portal. There we go. And let's take a look. It's nighttime presently. These are some of the trees. I love the trees in this dimension. We have the live trembling tree. We have live swampy poplar, and this one over here. There we go. It's not like bursting. Live weeping tree. And I hear some mobs around here. And I'm curious, what is this little guy? Sorry. He's not happy about it. It's a sprout from Roots 2. Let's kill it. We got a beetroot. Okay. And... see, what is this? There's something. Oh. No. Tiny pile of ender dust. Some kind of little ender worm. I couldn't see the name on it. Endermite. Okay. And this stuff, this floating mat right here, this is kind of like quicksand, basically. It's not fun times jumping into there. Actually, I've got this. I don't know why I'm not using it. See, that's what it does. Is it shoots you up in the air. Now, you need to be careful because if you notice, whenever I use it, there's like a little bar that fills up. That's its recharge. And you're immune to fall damage while it's recharging. What is that? Well, there's that. A grove sprite from primitive mobs. Let's kill it. We got an oak sapling. And what is this? Oh, no, I don't want on this. There we go. See, I can use the glider. I can throw that on and like glide around. I don't have fall protection though. Well, technically I could. I could put it on my armor. And that's actually very tempting. What is this? Is that a drone? Yeah, it's a drone from drones. Interesting. Did I get anything from him? No, I did not. Huh. Okay. Well, anyways. Let's fly around here real quick. And I'm going to look around for additional mobs. Maybe there's additional ones. So far, we've seen the Sprout, the Endermite, the Grove little fella. The Grove Sprite. Which these guys are not aggressive towards you. Sprouts are not aggressive towards you. The only thing aggressive is Endermites, and then I think the drones should be aggressive. Those ones were just kind of hanging out there. I want to say that normally they're aggressive. And I kind of wish it was daytime. Maybe I should make a sleeping bag. You think I should make a sleeping bag so we can make it day? Let's do that. Mana weave cloth. Okay, let's pop back through real quick. And I can use the warp stone, you know, to get back if I want to as well. And I tell you what, before we go out there, well, actually, no. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I was going to say I'm going to get a new waystone, but I'm actually just going to take this waystone, I think. Because, truth be told, I'm just going to be using this base, bouncing back and forth for the time being. But I'm not going to actually be using this base anymore. So it's Mana Steel Nugget and Mana Infused String. And that's for 2 pieces. Okay. Let's see, I don't have a whole lot of string, but I do have wool. And you can use the alchemy catalyst to make, you can use the alchemy catalyst to turn wool into string. So we're going to do that real quick. There we go. And then we'll just get our 16. I need more than that. I need 2 more pieces. No, I don't. No, I don't. It's not 9 pieces. It's 8 pieces. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. Alright, so I think I'm just like overly excited right now. I think is what it is. That's my excuse. So, there we go. There's a sleeping bag. And that was for a quest, right? There's a quest involved with that. So, what is left on there? Oh, Terra Bozu. Okay. I'm not going to worry about that till we get into the new dimension. Because technically I can make infinite water with Botania, the Rod of the Seas. I imagine that's probably craftable. Because I think it's just a water rune. Yeah, rune of water, water bottle. Living wood. Yeah, so we technically have access to infinite water. So I don't actually need the water barrels really anymore. So I could get rid of those. Okay, but the sun's coming up now, but I will have access to that. If I need it. Yeah, okay, the drones are aggressive. There we go. What did he drop? Redstone? And one second, I'm going to wait till this trash guy leaves. And I was just breaking some grass while I was waiting, and you get cocoa beans here. Oh, I've got haste. Oh, wow, I got haste now? Seriously? That's awesome. Unless it's got to be a potion. Yeah, it's a potion effect from something. How long do I have it for? A while. By the way, whenever we set up our base, I'm going to take some of these guys. They're so cute. They actually, like, talk. They're like, make that bear, and stuff, like, randomly. I'm going to take some and, like, name them. And maybe some of these little, like, sprout people, too. Because they're kind of cute, too. I love this dimension already. Like, there's not too many hostile mobs. Ooh, we got deer from Roots 2. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Because all these mobs and stuff, I mean, they're custom for the pack. Because this dimension doesn't normally have its own mobs. I'm kind of killing these guys as I run around as well. Because we're definitely going to need ender pearls. I love how it just sets everything on fire that touches me. Like, basically, if I'm in battle, stuff's on fire. Oh, wow. It's like breaking stuff instantly. Yeah, we got 8 piles of dust. Okay, but anyways, let's go out exploring. Right now we're in a swampy forest. There is that nature's compass that we could make, because there's a quest for that. I was just looking at that too. Oh, I didn't bring a compass with me. And I'm not too worried about that right now. I'm not worried about progression right this second. I'm not looking for a specific biome. Okay, let's launch up. And you'll notice that it's kind of misty here, like Misty World, right? It's really, really pretty. Honestly, I could call like this place home, but I'm looking for something else, in fact. And you can see I'm kind of I can bounce between the Rod of the Skies and the Hang Glider, so that I basically have flight at this point. Exploration flight. I mean, I can't build with this, but I can explore pretty effectively with it. And you can hold shift, by the way, to like basically sprint. It's lagging a bit right now, and that's just from loading this dimension as it goes. This dimension seems a little bit heavy on the load, but that's fine. Oh, here's a new biome right here. I don't know if it counts as a different biome necessarily, but it's basically the edge of the island. And this is what I was looking for. And this is where it gets really, really pretty. Look at this. Okay. Basically, this... Oh, filter coal. Anyways, I don't want to ruin the moment. There's all kinds of stuff here. But look at this. Basically, you have these floating islands. And there's actually land underneath that. That is a layer of poisonous fog. Right now, we're at Y127. And I can actually go down. It's not a good idea. I wouldn't suggest it. That's why I wanted to make sure we had flight before we came here. Because it's easy to get and it helps. But see, second breath advancement. And you can see we're getting ticked with some poison here. And I mean, technically, I could... Well, let me escape it for right now. You don't get like a poison tick or anything. Like, I don't get a debuff for poison. But you take damage constantly while you're down there. At least starting out, so... and right here we have Steppe Wolves from Primal Core. And I'm getting wolf heads, which we can make the wolf hood with that, which is a pretty cool looking armor set. Oh wow, these guys are duking it out. Or the wolf's trying to duke it out with him. And chances are a lot of these mobs probably wouldn't attack me if I wasn't attacking them. But it's nice to be in a place where I actually have things to kill. Like, I'm so happy to be off that planet. By the way, I got cocoa beans. I can't remember. I think I got sidetracked when I was trying to tell you, but I was breaking grass and got cocoa beans. And let's kill ourselves a deer. See what they drop. Mutton. Is that what it drops, really? I just noticed it's cooking some of the food. And leather. Interesting. Back to what we were doing over here. Actually, there was an ore right over here, right? Yeah, right over here. It is filter coal ore. Wow, this pickaxe takes forever to mine this. Oh, it showed as a check mark that I could mine it, but it just destroyed it. I'll grab the flexible axe pickful. Maybe it can mine, maybe it can mine the stuff around here. Let's see. Usually you'll find ores around this little, around like the drop off of the island, so to speak. Oh, there's some more filter coal. Let's get that. Will this pick work? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not going to even... Look at this. This is terrible. It's... Well, I'll tell you what. It's because I have this, the vein upgrade, because it slows it down, so maybe... It's still really, really slow. I don't think we're meant to mine it with those tools. So I'm just going to put that away for right now. Plus, I didn't come here for mining or resources at all, really. I came here, like right now, we are going to gather up resources here, but the reason I came here is because we're going to build here. This is going to be our home, because you cannot deny that is beautiful. And what's neat is actually down there, if you look at the map, like I said, there's a world underneath there. There's a place, you know, there's land down there. And it's not like this world. Like, you know, it's not going to have... Well, I think there is foggy stone down there and the gravel and whatnot. But there's like its own plant life and stuff like that down there. And there's probably mobs that are down there that are specific to that area, I imagine. In my test world, I haven't even been to the Misty World on here, so... because I was kind of saving it as a surprise for myself, to be honest. But, see, there's like other islands out there. And we can actually... Since we have a glider, I mean, you could cobble bridge it over if you wanted to, but that just sounds terrible to me. So flight is definitely the way to go. We could take it a step further and actually change out our upgrades on our cloak to have like full fall protection, like 100%. Like stick 3 of those on there, and that's something that I might actually do. Maybe do 3 of those and then like 2 fire, 2 lava or something. But I don't know. I might change it over just so it's a little bit easier to like get down instead of having to do that. Here is clay, and we can actually mine that. And is it used for anything in this pack? It is not. Okay. But it is something that I want to build with. Like, look at that. It actually looks like clay. And that's the cracked clay. Let me deal with this guy, and then we're going to mine up some of that virgin clay and see about it. In fact, the virgin gray clay, it's not used for anything either. But, like, look at those textures. Like, it's just good-looking clay. I love the cracked clay for building, so I do want to use that. And then, what is this over here? Ah, sand. Misty World sand. I actually quite like the look of that as well. There's a lot of really good blocks for building, plus creatures that I'm going to capture and take home with me. But yeah, there's actually a fair few different biomes. I want to say there's about 5 or 6 different biomes in this dimension. I mean, right now we're in a savanna. We started out in a swamp. There's also snow biomes. We can actually get snow here. Well, technically we could make snow with Botania, but there is snow biomes here, like cold biomes. And we should be able to actually really flourish with bees, I think, here, because we have access to, like, savannas, we have access to swamps, we have access to cold biomes. I want to say it's like it's not a taiga. Maybe it's a taiga. I'm actually surprised that we haven't ran into any. This right here is a desert biome. I was about to say desert dimension, but desert biome right here, and there's actually bones right there from Terraquise. So we do have access to those here as well. This is actually a really big desert right here. And see, in the desert, you'll randomly find dunes as well, which have these blocks of sandy dirt. It's like a little sub-biome, and it counts as its own biome, but they tend to be pretty small, just in the middle of the deserts. But I wanted to find maybe a snow biome, just so you guys can see it. But yeah, you've got desert borders. That's what this dimension, or this biome is. I keep wanting to call them dimensions. I don't know why. I'm just overly excited at the moment. Yeah, we'll take a leap of faith. We can fly forever, pretty much. So, oh. Here we go. We have a plains biome right here, which is nice to see. But honestly, I don't know where I want to build at. I'm not for sure, in truth. Because, like, look at the forests. The forests are really pretty. Honestly, this island might be where we build, because we have a nice mix right here. Because we've got, like, plains, we have a forest, we have... I want to be near the fog. Wherever I build, I want to be near the fog, because I have plans for that. Not to mention, I have plans to build bridges, too, spanning the gaps. Of course, we have waystone, so technically we can just teleport, but I do want to build out some bridges and stuff. But let me actually mark this over here. Because the journey map, I mean, you can see the biomes, but it's kind of hard to tell what they are. So I do want to mark this, since we did find a plains. I want to mark this. Oh, and there's a marsh right here. There's a marsh, there's a lowland, which is basically plains. And here's a meadow. There's like every dimension, or every biome that we would want, like right in here, except for like a snow biome. I don't see one of those, but I actually like this spot. I kind of wish there was a... Oh, right here. Yeah. I was about to say, I want there to be like an island off in the distance that's like visible at like the end of our vision. Of course, I could always set up a couple more chunks on the render distance. So 14. Oh, look at that. 14 render distance. This is like the spot. I think so. I'm going to mark this. And I'm going to do a bit of flying around and just see what all, like, the surrounding area is like to get an idea of that. And then we're probably going to start building. Look at all this, like, nice flat terrain. One of the only like things that you won't really see in this is like mountains. You don't generally see mountains on top of these like these big plateaus, because I mean you're pretty much on top of a mountain as is, and then there's like the toxic fog down below. So what is this down border, and then I think down swamp? Yeah, see, it has its own like biomes down in there as well. And later on, we will be able to go down in the poisonous fog, and we definitely will. We definitely will be down there a bit. To do it, you need, let's see if I can remember the, no, not, it's a, oh, it's a respirator, right? Yeah, that's what it is. The respirator from Misty World, right here. It does require niobium ingot. So, and I imagine that's just pretty much standard. We can just smelt it. Awesome. And let's see, where do they have that spawning in this pack? Okay, just standard. Standard stuff. Alright. Yeah, I've noticed these guys don't seem terribly aggressive to me, see? Like, I can actually just push them. And I believe they're normally aggressive. I think it's the headpiece that's stopping them. Like, if I take that off, yeah. See, that is what Eerie does. So, awesome. I actually came back over here to where I marked here. These mobs are pretty easy, I gotta say. I went ahead and came back over here because I'm going to drop a waystone right here. So I can come back. I still want to fly around and just see like what else is out there. We're going to call it Future Home ? There we go. But I want to continue seeing what all's out there because I've only explored... where am I? Right here. Yeah. I'm going to explore this end of the island and stuff because I want a lot of space to like build and spread out and everything. So I'll be back here in just a bit once I do a bit more flying around. Okay, I actually just found a snow area. So I am literally like, there's that future home possibly spot, and there's the snow. So it's not, we actually have a good spread of biome types from like that central location. It would be a really good spot, I think, to call home, and it's got what I'm looking for, honestly. So live snow tree right there, and then we have live foggy pines. I love it. I love it so much. It's such a pretty dimension, like all the fog, and I love the sky. That was one of my big issues with that Exoria planet, was the sky was horrible looking. I mean, it looked good for the planet. You know, it made sense. I'm not saying it's a bad looking sky. But as far as a planet to live on, it was not pretty. Plus, the poison rain didn't help things at all. It didn't help its odds with me. But this is nice because we'll be able to, like, really spread out. And I want to build on, like, multiple different biomes. Like, have those available and everything. There's some ice right there. Little ice pond. And that compass that they were wanting us to make, you can find biomes with it. But I don't know. Like, it's more fun to get out and explore anyways. But we will make one of those. We will make one here soon. But anyways, I'm going to warp back. And I'm going to cut for a while. Like I said, I'm probably going to be cutting a bit within this episode. But I'm going to cut for a bit and get kind of like something planned out, like where I'm going to have stuff and maybe start building. And then I'll bring you guys back and update you. And then I may cut again and just do a little bit of cutting as I build, basically. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it's been a little while since I cut. It's been about 2 hours, give or take. One thing I wanted to show you guys is fish spawn naturally here. So there we go. We can get easy salmon and raw fish and stuff. And you'll notice in my inventory, I actually just got back from a big mining trip. I got cooked salmon because of my hammer. But anyways, I got back from a big mining trip. Ortho stone and sarsen stone is what I'm mining. Of course, from the cave area of Exoria. So, the diamonds I have on me are actually for repairing the axe pickle. Because I've actually ran through the durability on this thing, like, all the way down a couple times. Diamonds actually repair it pretty good. Gold, unless I do, like, gold blocks, which I have to, I have to make those, melt them down and all that, so I didn't feel like messing with that. Diamonds, I've got pretty much free diamonds, so I'm using that to repair the axe pickle. And also, I did go ahead and add in 3 haste upgrades to this. These things are somewhat expensive, all this redstone. However, you're talking about 3 stacks of redstone, but I got about over a half a stack from the drones flying around here. And really, I could probably get more if I used my fortune box sword. Realistically, I could probably get more redstone out of that. So it's definitely worth it. It makes a big difference when mining for all this stuff. So, and then I might have possibly added in architecture craft, maybe. I did add this into the pack. This is a mod. If you guys have watched my other single player series, you know I'm not against adding decorative mods to a pack because, I mean, this isn't anything game breaking. About as game breaking as it would get is the fact you can use the chisel to break ice and glass and glowstone without breaking it, but I'm not going to use it for that, so unless it's something I place down and pick back up or whatever. But I did add this into the pack because it I really want it for my build. It's just, you use architecture craft, everything, you can really polish things out, you have flat surfaces and stuff. I don't know why it's not in every single pack, because it's pretty much, I think, the carpenter's blocks of 1.10 plus, honestly. But anyways, I wanted to bring you guys back because I have been doing a bit of building. Mainly just framing this in. I decided I'm going to do jump cuts with a lot of the building within this series, I do believe. So I've been just kind of laying out the general structure here. This is just for the first building. So this isn't the entire base, but this is just the first building here. But I've been working on this. You can see a little bit of architecture craft work, and I still got to do some architecture craft here on the back. But anyways, it's a combination, as far as architecture craft goes, it's a combination of the roof slopes, and then also, hey, drone. Forget these things can fly after me, because normally they just kind of hover above the ground, but I've got a combination of, the flat slopes, and then I've also got some rounded sections where I only have like 1 block, so I rounded it. Yeah, it's just a combination of sarsen stone, sarsen cobblestone, and then different ortho stones. I'm using stacked and then the bricks as well up there. And I'm using basalt as basically my cobblestone within this pack because I have so much of it. Whereas cobblestone, I think I'm down to like 600 pieces of cobblestone or something. I mean, I can get cobblestone pretty easily, but basalt I have like 10,000 and something of it. So I'm using that as my cobblestone. And right here, I've started digging out. I'm going to have like a fountain, or not really a fountain, well, kind of a fountain, coming off of this structure. I'm going to have water kind of flowing around it and stuff. And I've been digging this out, and I wanted to give you guys some tips. If you're here building, by the way, if you break this stuff, which takes 1,000,000 years to break, you know what? I haven't tried the axe pickle since I put haste on there. It still takes pretty long. But that is vein mined, so I mean, I guess I could gather it up. It does drop rocks. So, for example, which I guess really I could pull this up because I'm not going to be using this area. There we go. You can see that. Oh yeah, I've got all this stuff on me. But you can see right here, I got rocks from it. Instead of getting actual blocks, you get rocks. Just like with the cobblestone, but luckily 4 pieces and it just goes together. You don't have to do like, how we had to do the clay with the cobblestone. You don't have to do that. So just a heads up. But if you're building, like, I don't want to have to because I don't want to vein mine, if I'm building a little like fountain area, like stream. If you are building, the best way that I found to do this, and let me actually, I went ahead and dumped my inventory because that way I don't have to fight it. But anyways, what I did was I actually crafted one of these diamond chisels because, okay, crazy thing, this foggy stone, you cannot use the conversion wand on it. The conversion wand does not work with it. It's not true for everything for this mod because, like, I can use it on the forest grass or the forest dirt. Any of this stuff, it works fine on, but it does not work on the foggy stone. I think because it takes so long to mine, I think they did that on purpose. So you couldn't, like, just pull up a bunch of it. But what I've been doing is I have a diamond chisel here, and I have it set to same material, and then I crafted a dev null from open blocks. And this is just a chest in pixie dust, which we have tons of. And then what you can do is you can just hit that, and it just nullifies everything. It voids it, basically. And it's a really quick, easy way to clean this stuff up. And I'm on my second chisel right now, my second diamond chisel. But realistically, a stick and a diamond, and it clears out a decent amount of stone. So if you're building and you just want to get the stone out of your way, and you don't want to use like Void Miner or something like that, it definitely helps, I think. I mean, it costs a diamond, but I've got diamond bees. So if you don't have diamond bees, it might be a little bit more of an issue for you. But I mean, if you have the sieve automated good, then you shouldn't have too much issue with diamonds at this point, I don't think. But anyways, just a heads up on that. Like, I thought it was kind of useful, personally. But anyways, and then we'll do a little flyby here of this. It's pretty decent size. I mean, this building probably isn't going to have like a second story or anything. I don't intend for it to have one, or a basement or anything like that. But like this area over here, like right here, this is going to be about the level of the floor at this height, or at this part of the building. And it's actually going to get like decreasingly lower Y level, height, as it goes down. So towards the bottom, it's only going to be, maybe 2 blocks off the ground. I'm thinking. I'll figure it out as I build it that way. But it's just going to be a 1-story, and then just kind of like steps going up to like the different stages of it. I'll be starting to work on the floor here in just a second. I've still got to bring up some of this wall, but I wanted to bring you guys back because I figured I'd do some jump cuts for the building, because this is taking about, like I said, about 2 hours. Of course, I was doing some upgrades and figuring out how I wanted to actually clear stuff. So anyways, I'll be back once I get the floor in and a bit more of the wall, the wall done and everything. I'll bring you back and show you the floor and the layout for that. Okay, it's been a little while since I cut, and I just came back over here. I was restocking like the mana tablet and the thing, the embers storage. And I wanted to craft a new rod, second rod this episode. And by the way, whenever you craft a fishing pole, oops, got everything all mixed up now. Whenever you craft this, it makes the wooden fishing rod, so you can just change it into the standard Minecraft fishing rod. But what I want to do is I want to craft a Rune of the Sea. So sugarcane, bone meal, there we go, it's going to start running. Dun-dun-dun. I want to cover 2 things, and then we're going to go look at what I've been doing, what I've been working on so far. Alright, there we go. There is our Runes of the Sea, or Rune of Water. Rod of the Sea, Rune of Water is what I'm making right now. And then we're also going to need a glass bottle and a living wood twig as well. Okay, in our bottle, we're just going to go ahead and fill this thing up with water. And then, where did my thing go? There we go. We can craft our Rod of the Seas. That's done. And what this thing does is, at the cost of some mana, I did stock up on a little bit more food as well, but at the cost of mana, we can place down infinite water sources. Like that. Which is quite useful. To be able to have infinite water. I'm going to have to see, I don't know if the Misty World actually, if you can use a 2x2 or a 3x1 water source to have infinite. I don't know for sure. I doubt it. I think it's limited in every dimension within this pack. Of course, once we get a little bit farther, we'll automate water. But and then the other thing that I wanted to cover was I did make isolated materia. This right here, it's clay, nether quartz, iron, and lapis. And I went ahead and did 8. It was 2 clay blocks, so 8, and then 1 for the research. It's 25 on iron to make it for me. And what we're going to do, some of my armor is starting to get kind of low durability, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take this stuff and we're just going to right click it onto the anvil, and we can use that to fully repair our armor. So I'm going to go ahead, it's super cheap. It really, really is. And there we go. That stuff, I mean, it's easy to craft this stuff. You get 4 per craft too. And I mean, that's automated, that's automated, that's automated. Clay is easy. Technically, I mean, we've got terra clay. I don't think I have a loam bee, but I mean, I've still got a bunch of loam from the strainer. But point is, it's really, really cheap to manufacture a bunch of this stuff. And it really doesn't even take that long. 4 per craft, and the crafts go quick, so. Anyways, let's pop over to here. The reason I wanted the Rod of the Seas is because I want to do those little like ponds, so to speak, around that structure. And so I am going to want a way to just easily do water. Oh, you know what? I'm not doing like any damage right now. That's because I forgot my embers. Okay, so anyways, back over here. It is nighttime, but I actually kind of want to show it to you at nighttime because I worked on the floor and I worked on lighting. So here we go. This is what I've got done so far. And this is, like I said, it's been a few hours since I cut. And I still have some stuff to do. It's, you know, this isn't all done. Anyways, we have like this nice platform, this nice area, and I kind of wanted to make it raised as it goes further back, so it kind of has that really cool, like, I don't know, appeal effect, I guess, because, you know, everything's rising up along through here. But anyways, this is going to be where we set up our bees. I decided to build this first because I've had this build in my mind for a bit now. You notice the drones don't always attack me, without provocation because of the Eerie helmet. But the lighting, I did want to go ahead and do the lighting since I was working through here. All of this, if we hit F7, all of this structure is lit up. I haven't went through and checked it, except maybe, well, it looks like those aren't spawning either. I think that's due to the Sarsen Stone, though. If I recall the Primal Core stuff, it doesn't allow mob spawns for, like, the refined blocks. But these guys, a lot of these guys actually spawn just wherever, though. Light sources doesn't seem to matter. We will get a powered lantern up and going before too long, but the light doesn't really bother them. So look at that. Look at all that. It's amazing. But yeah, so I've started working over here. I've started working on bringing some pillars up, and that's going to be for the roof. It's going to have open sides. It's going to be pillars, like columns that hold it all up. But there is going to be a roof on top of this, on top of part of it. The entire structure is not going to have a big roof or anything like that. Like, look at this. I can just push him around. He's just like, whatever. That's fine. I believe they're normally... Yeah, I know they're normally aggressive, because whenever I take the helmet off, they attack me. And that's probably why that drone attacked me when I first got here, because I didn't have any embers on me. But yeah, that's the structure so far, and I have went through here with architecture craft and, done little things throughout here, and kind of tried to make it look nice. I hear, oh, you know what? It's underneath here. Like, let's go through right here. If you take a look under here, lots of these guys spawn. I was actually farming these guys somewhat. Well, there's not as many as there were earlier. Earlier there was like, I don't know, like 12 or something, 12, 13 in here. They were like exclusively spawning, but now the little roots guys are spawning in the primal mobs, primitive mobs. But yeah, let's go ahead and take off, and we'll look at it from above for right now. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Basically just the floor and everything. I'm pretty happy though with the progress. This has been a few hours, but that's all right. Trying to get everything just right, and the lighting's done. I hate doing lighting. Lighting and roofs are like the two things that I hate the most. I think whenever it comes to building, or at least the things I procrastinate the most on, and to already have the lighting done is nice. But architecture craft, it makes really good lighting. So, yeah. These right here, this is actually the little like 1/4 columns, and I've put them together because this is like between blocks. I wanted to bring that up, and there we go. You actually get quite a bit of iron and redstone from those guys, like if you're here for an extended period of time. But these are 1/8 of a sphere per block. But one piece of glowstone actually crafts 8 of them, so you can build a full sphere with that. So, anyways, I'm going to cut again. I'm going to bring the columns up, and I'm going to start actually working on the roof section of this, and I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit once I get some of that started at least. So I will be back. Okay, it's actually the next day now. It's the very next, like, real life day, I mean. One thing I meant to tell you guys about whenever I came back that last time is I actually got this, Dark Hosto's birthday cake, and it dropped from a drone, I think it was. It dropped it randomly. It's a birthday cake for Dark Hosto. So, kind of funny. Kind of funny little, I don't know, Easter egg item or something. I still have not gotten any of the ability bottles I know that they're in here, and I know they drop from mobs, but I still haven't gotten a single one of them, surprisingly enough. Anyways, I have been building for a bit, and look, we don't have the entire roof on. I just want to bring you guys back, because I've got a bit done since I brought you back last time. I did get this little area over here. They're playing in the water at the moment. And just kind of bouncing around. I don't know, like, I just keep having these little, oh, what are they called? Grove sprites? I keep having them jumping in the water. Like, just coming around from, like, miles to jump in the water. So, and I did clean all this up, the stone and everything, and I replaced it with Misty World gravel. And then this is actually clay dirt. You can find this in pools of water, you know, just randomly. Also, as a side note, whenever you break gravel, it's a decent chance that you're going to get just a rock instead of gravel. So just a heads up on that. There is a chance you're going to get that. But anyways, if we head on up here, this is what I've been working on. And just kind of starting the roof, and I actually have a really cheap, easy light source up there. It's glowtite sand. Glowtite sand up there. And actually right here, it would fall. It was falling on me, and I put, those are just cornice parts from Architecture Craft. You could also use string. I was thinking about using string, and I actually tried a piece, but I didn't like the way that it looked, because it actually kind of showed up under there. And then you could also use like a chisel and bit. Actually, you can generally get an invisible bit if you chisel leaves. Depending on placement and everything, you can actually get it invisible, but I thought that looked alright, so I put that up there, and then I started doing arches that kind of go across here, and then I've got to put the actual roof up on top of this. And then right through here we have pillars, lots of pillars. I want it to feel open, you know. We're going to use a variety of different building styles and buildings within the build as a whole, but this first building, I wanted it to feel really open. Oh, I actually missed a piece right there. So I'll just pop up there. Which actually, I guess I can get rid of this basalt now. Yeah, I actually just put this one on, so I can't get up there anymore. Whoops. And, oh, by the way, the drones can actually spawn up here, and they knocked me off one time. I mean, luckily, we have that little bit of extra fall protection, so I can survive a fall from this height without taking too much damage, but just a heads up. Oh, this is going to be... Let me just break this. Okay, I fixed that. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, so I basically I've started framing in where the roof is going to go and everything, but I've still got to do the whole roof as a whole. And it's raining, and look, it's not poison. I'll just sleep and get rid of that, but anyways, I hope you guys like it so far. I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. It's a little bit different than I originally envisioned. Whenever I started the build, I was actually originally going to do something else at the top, but then I started playing around with it, and I like that. By the way, that gray up there, that's common stone, which you can make that with just stone and cobblestone. It's really, really cheap block. So, and then at the top up here, that's what it looks like so far. And then the roof is going to come up. It's going to have that little flat section, and then it's going to dome up where the roof's going to be. And I've got to do the underbelly of this. I'll probably start with the underbelly, and then I'll do the top part. So, fun times. Fun times. This build has taken a while, if you couldn't tell. It's taken a decent while. So, plus I've changed my mind on a couple parts as I've went, so there's that as well. Okay, there we go. The basalt's gone. And right up there, since I don't have like an arch for the corners, that is actually right here. The roof inner corner, that's what that is. And it's set on its side. And I think it looks alright. It's about as good of a rounded arch as you're going to get on a corner part like that. And I actually have those beams are one lower than the beams that run through the very center. So you can see it's actually kind of just slightly lower. And that's on purpose. But I thought the glowtite... Whoops. For some reason, I was thinking I still had the cooldown on this going. But I think it makes a pretty good light source, and it actually lights up that upper section at night, which is quite nice. Because I didn't want it to be totally dark at night. Also, you might notice that I have the strength buff now. My nutrition's like, it's nearly capped on like everything. So I've gotten a strength boost, in addition to toughness 3, resistance, and a bunch of extra hearts, too. So, anyways, I'm going to start work on the roof, the actual roof, not the support, but the actual roof of this. And look at that. I think it'll look really good once the roof is on there. So I'll be back here in just a bit once I get that on. Probably a few hours from now. So anyways, I'll be back. Okay, welcome back. It has been a very good long while since I last cut. Basically, I've been working on that building for close to 16 hours. I mean, a couple AFK breaks, but about 16 hours today. And then, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 hours yesterday. I mean, altogether, it's going to be, by the time I get done with the next part I want to do, which is decorating, it's going to be about a day and a half of playtime. And it's going to span, like, the course of, like, 2.5 days of real-time working on it. But anyways, I have been collecting a little bit of wood, and I want to do this on camera, actually, because I do need some saplings. But I was wanting to get these trunks, was the main thing I was after. I've got some dark oak leaves on me, and I'm getting ready to maybe start decorating a little bit. I still have a little bit of stuff to do. I don't have the lighting done upstairs. I did change my mind, and originally I said I wasn't going to have a basement or an upstairs floor. I decided to add an upstairs floor, because I'm going to need a place to store drones and queens, and so I decided I'm going to store drones and queens upstairs for this building. But anyways, I'm gonna actually break this little branch right here, because I want to get some saplings, just in case. And didn't get any saplings that time. Seems like it takes a few attempts here. But this is how you get saplings. You can't just cut down the tree itself. You have to cut down these little branches, and you'll have a chance at getting saplings. What is giving me potion effects? Is it that guy? Or is it Trickster Bloom? I don't know. Oh, something's giving me, like, potion effects. Earlier I had glowing when I first came out here. Okay, I finally got a Foggy Oak Sapling. They're just really rare. Very, very rare, actually. I'm going to keep working on getting some saplings, but at least now I can replant this tree. And if you want to cut down the tree as a whole and get, like, your trunks, which these are actually kind of nice. The reason I want these is because I want to do like little decorative trees, you know, but instead of using a fence like you would in like vanilla, I would like to use these, because they look pretty good, I think. So, I mean, realistically, I could just do wood with architecture craft, but I don't know. I kind of want to do those. But if you cut down the bottom block, it'll just cut down everything. And then, of course, I have a magnet on, so. But I got some trunks, I got wood, I got branches, sticks, all that stuff from cutting down the tree. And for now, I'm just going to replant that. I could have maybe gotten like another sapling. There were still some branches that were harvestable. And that's true for any of the Misty World trees. Now, the Misty World does have some of these trees from Terraquis. And these you would just get saplings like standard. So, just a heads up. Also, I did actually get enough heat on my hammer that I could level it up, finally. Oh, and we got toughness 4, strength, and resistance. You can see I'm maxed out on nutrition now. So, anyways, if you want to see the progress so far, here we go. As you can tell, I did add a floor up at the top, and like I said, I'm just going to store drones and princesses and stuff like that up there. Is my current plan. So we'll just fly over this. I haven't started decorating or anything. I did get that filled out. I can't remember if that was filled out on the last cut. It's been a while. It's been quite a few hours since I last cut. But let's see. Let's look at the bottom first. And this is like from the side, and then we'll do a flyover and go to the top and all that fun stuff. But up here, I did kind of change this up. I added chiseled runestone, just like every other blockish throughout here, just to kind of make the pathway a little bit more ornate. Chiseled runestone, of course, is just flint and runestone, which we have flint bees, so pretty easy. And then I did add, look at all these guys. I'm going to have to get powered lanterns to keep them from spawning, but honestly, if I get like one more rank of Eerie on my helmet, I don't think there's like anything in this dimension that will attack me. At least up here. Maybe once we get down underneath the fog, it might, but I did make a few emerald blocks. Of course, I've got plenty of emeralds. They've built back up from when we made all the storage drawers, or storage upgrades. And I did slabs with architecture craft. That's one of the best things about having architecture craft, is I can do slabs, stairs, wedges, you know, with any block. Just make them, which is nice. I mean, you could do it with chisels and bits too, but I've noticed that chisels and bits tends to, like, be a little bit buggy when you have a lot of them. When you do it, like, with massive structures. But I did add some emerald blocks because I was thinking this is probably not going to be our only bee area. So I may do, like, this kind of theme, like a little temple theme for the later bee areas. I mean, this will be good for a while, but eventually I'm probably going to need more bee areas. So I'm thinking I might use different gems for different areas. At first I was actually going to use the Biomes of Plenty gems, but you can't do any kind of like gold encrusted with it, and so they're just kind of like a gem block, and it's kind of plain looking, whereas with like the emerald, the diamond, the lapis, stuff like that, I can do gold encrusted. So I decided to do that up there. And then the ceiling, aside from that, I am going to light the ceiling up so you can actually see it. It'll be visible. But it's chiseled runestone, you know, just straight across, and then it's scoria stone for the ceiling. And then I added little dividers there that weren't there since last episode, or since I last cut. Feels like it's like last episode at this point, but and I think that's the main things down here. And then I added an elevator from open blocks, and it takes us upstairs. So this is the upstairs room. This is eventually going to be drawers. So right now it's just basalt. And then I did windows here. This is cyan stained glass, and you can insert it into the architectural window frames with just a right click. It took a couple stacks of it, a couple stacks of glass, but it's not too bad because it's just stained glass panes. It's not like full glass or anything. And I have fairy dust up here because I haven't done the lighting yet. But up here it is sarsen stone, scoria stone, and ortho stone along the ceiling there. And then this is just common stone. So, and then I have a chiseled rune border. By the way, one thing, and I keep forgetting to mention it, this is vivid grass from Botania. You can make a vivid grass seed and just make vivid grass just by right-clicking, and it tends to spread. If you right-click like right here in the middle, it'll spread and fill out this whole little area for one vivid grass seed, and they're really, really cheap. It's just cactus greens and a pasture seed to make it right there. You can actually get it from a bee, the vase bee, but that's later on. So anyways, back up here. But the reason I actually started building this room, like I said, originally I wasn't going to, but I was up here working on the roof, and look at the view from up here. Like, look at that. Let me actually remove that. Look at that. From this little, like, this little viewing platform. So I decided I wanted to have, like, a little balcony area on each end. And, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Because the view is just so nice up here. And plus you have that kind of, like, mist at the end of your vision and everything. It looks really, really good in this dimension. And, I don't know. It's just so nice. But the floor here, this is chiseled stone bricks. Just standard, you know, chiseled stone. Like vanilla chiseled stone. And then chiseled runestone. Just a checkered pattern there. And we can actually jump down here. And this is all sarsen stone as well. But see, I did these corners here. A little bit more than what I want to bounce. But I did these corners in sarsen stone as well. And kind of shaped them up with architecture craft. And I broke the blocks as you go down that. So those are kind of broken off. And then I added this little area here so that the sarsen stone kind of goes down. The sarsen cobblestone goes down between the smooth sarsen stone. So, I don't know. I kind of like the way it looks anyways. And then I did a little bit of detail work here with this stuff. And then if we pop up top, I'll show you how I did the roof here. It's almost kind of like a barracks look or something. I don't know. But I started playing around up here, and I don't know. That's just where my building led me, and I kind of like the way it looks. It's different. But I've kind of separated this out, ridged it with sarsen stone and then ortho stone, and then I did right here. I have this is the oh, what's that stuff called? Starts with CH. Or no, CL, cladding. That's what it's called. I can never remember what that stuff's called. But anyways, I did cladding over the wedges so that I have like a different texture on the outside. Kind of like a roof covering, you know. And then I had a lot of fun with the cornice blocks. I always have a lot of fun with the cornice blocks. If we pop down here, I did little designs. Actually, we'll just go down here. This will work. I did little designs, and this is all with the cornice pieces. Mainly cornice, the slanted ones. So we'll go down there and look at it from a distance here in just a second. But it is. I need to just make myself immune to fall damage. I really, really do. These right here. If you watch my All the Mods series, you know I like to play around with architecture craft. Make like crazy designs and stuff. So, yeah. Chisels and bits is fun, but you sell your soul for the opportunity to do chisels and bits, I feel like. Because literally, like, doing like one little project takes forever. But that's what that design up there looks like from a distance. And that's most everything, I think. It's pretty much all of it. It took forever. But now most of the architecture part is done. I mean, there's a couple small things I'll probably add. I need to do lighting and stuff like that up here. But for the most part, the architecture is done, and I can actually work on just decorating it out and giving it a little bit of like life and vibrancy. So we'll do a quick flyby, and then I'm going to spend a bit of time decorating, and I need to work on this water a bit. I don't know if I'll get it all done by the time this episode needs to be done. It needs to come out and everything, but it's been fun. It really has. I feel like with the jump cuts for the building, I can get a lot more done than when I was doing like the speed builds, because the speed builds, this would have taken like 5 episodes or something. Maybe, well, hour-long episodes, it would be a little bit less, but still, it would have taken quite a few episodes of just constant speed building for all of this. But with the jump cuts, I can kind of pop in and say, like, oh, this is what I've been working on, and kind of keep you updated with the process and everything, but... Because it's still taking forever. It really has, so... It would be, I mean, of course, it would be a lot quicker if I was at the point with resources where I just had everything automated with, like, void miners and all that, but... right now, having to go mine everything. But yeah, so anyways, I'll be back here in, I don't know, a few more hours. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating, adding some life and stuff to this, and then I'll bring you guys back, and we'll take a look at it in its semi-finished state. Probably the last jump cut for this episode, I think. Okay, it is now Wednesday morning. The same day that the video is going to come out, but really all we have to do is take a look at the base. I mean, this is the end of the episode, basically. It has taken forever. I first entered this dimension on, like, Sunday, and it's now Wednesday. So, needless to say, it's taken a while, but look, I wanted to start back there because you can actually see this base. Stop it. You can see this base from, like, really far off. And I'm really happy with it, I have to say. Oh, a couple, well, I'll tell you in just a second. There's a couple equipment upgrade type things. I've actually been out farming for ability bottles. I haven't gotten any. That's why I was out there. I've actually got a bunch of stuff on me. And there's bears that spawn here. Primal core bears. They're not aggressive to me. I don't know if they're normally aggressive or not. I want to say that they are, but they weren't aggressive towards me, but it could be the eerie effect. And I've been using the axe in like combat near the base and stuff that I don't want destroyed, because I did put blasting on the grand hammer, so it does kind of explode and it will break a block or two whenever it explodes right now. So the axe is going to be like my in the base type weapon, and the grand hammer I'm just going to keep increasing blasting so I can just like blow stuff up when we go out exploring. So anyways, I'll turn off the HUD for this, but anyways, this is the progress so far. And it's for the most part done. I don't have the stuff, you know, the bees moved over here or anything, because I want to do some work in the next episode, carpenter type stuff. So we'll get into that later. But I did fix this and added like a little stream that kind of runs up underneath this bridge area, and actually goes down to this. So it just kind of travels down here and hits this big lake that we had here naturally spawning. I will probably do a little bit of landscaping off on this side, you know, and I still have to landscape a little bit further out on this side, but it's a start, and I think it looks pretty good. And then I did make a couple botanical breweries, because we have tons of ender pearls, so I was like, I'm going to make a couple of these. It takes a bunch of steel, but I have free steel, You know, it's like 14 steel per Botanical Brewery. But it's not too bad. They're pretty cheap at this point. So I did make those just kind of for decoration because I wanted some movement down here. Of course, once we get in the base, once I get the bees moved over, we're going to have movement in the form of bees flying around, you know, through here. But down there, I did make some lily pads. You can make them with alchemy catalyst, throw vines in, and you get it. And then back in here, I made a little beehive. Because, I don't know, I just wanted a beehive up there. So I did make a beehive just for decorative purposes. Because you can make these honeycomb blocks. And, come back here. They run from me, I swear. Oh, and it's funny because the wolves that spawn in this, a little side note, the wolves that spawn in this dimension, they will not attack me due to the Eerie effect. And by the way, Eerie, all these are rank 3 now. I did go ahead and upgrade, and they're ready for another upgrade. What do you know? I did go ahead and upgrade those, so we have rank 3 on all of that. But the wolves won't attack me. And it's funny because, like, the first time it happened, like, the pack of wolves came running right at me. So I smacked one, you know, because I thought it was about to attack me. And then it just runs right past me and starts attacking a drone. Like, they hate drones for some reason. So, but anyways, there's the landscaping off on this side. There's like a serious shadow going on right there. Well, F7 shows it as being able to spawn mobs, but the mobs in this dimension spawn regardless. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter the lighting at all. But anyways, I just did a lot of trees down here, and some hedges and stuff like that. And then back here, I've actually got a willow tree growing, or a weeping tree, not a willow tree. It's basically a willow tree, but it's called a weeping tree. In this dimension. So I've got this growing, but it takes forever to grow. This has been sitting here for like, I don't know, maybe an hour or something like that. I was wanting to test the tree, but bone meal does not work on it. I did try bone meal. Doesn't work on it, and I've just been kind of waiting for this thing to grow. Also, the watering can that we have doesn't work on it either. I did try that. It will bump it up to this growth stage, or actually the one below it. It'll bump it up to that pretty quick, like from the sapling. But this tree actually has to grow in like the world. It doesn't just go from sapling to full-grown tree, and they take a while. So, oh, up in the bee house, or up in the hive, I actually put a couple bee houses in there. You can kind of see them right there, sort of. But anyways, I had all those bee houses I didn't really have any use for, so I stuck some up there. Originally, I actually had it lit on the interior, but anyways, then if we head upstairs, look at this. We have an actual storage type room. I'm going to have to get powered lanterns for this area, so these things will stop spawning. They just spawn wherever. Within the base, there's no place that mobs can spawn, except on the very top of this roof. But anyways, these are all 2x2 storage drawers. There's nothing in them at the moment. There will be once I get bees moved over. And then right here, a drawer controller. This is a lamp from Bibliocraft, and I thought it looked kind of nice over the drawer controller. And then all the rest of the lighting is actually done with these. These are glowstone balustrades, and I just put them in there. It's kind of like a little lighting source around. And then this is all scoria stone that kind of frames in the drawers. The drawers are common stone, sarsen stone, and laboratory blocks. So, and then right up there I have a controller slave. We're going to be using that in the near future once I get the bees up and going. Because it came to my attention, actually, that we can craft ender chests at this point. They take any kind of chest, an ender pearl, some barnium, some obsidian, and wool. I mean, they're fairly standard recipe. I mean, there's the barnium and stuff that's added, but they're fairly standard, and they're really, really cheap. So we will be using ender chests in the coming episodes. Also, the oak drawers are not set in stone. I have the oak drawers, the oak doors, not drawers. I have the oak doors down, but I don't really have access to a lot of other doors, because, a lot of them are futurecraft. And then also forestry. I want to get into tree breeding now that we're in this dimension. I want to get into tree breeding pretty soon. So, I don't know what kind of door. I haven't settled on a door as of yet. There's like the composite door. I may even end up adding like Melissa's doors. I don't know. But for right now, I have oak doors. They do the trick for now. So, and then I may end up putting like invisible pressure plates or something. Do we have invisible pressure plates? No, we don't have invisible pressure plates, but what about sneaky blocks? That's what, dark utilities? I don't think that's in the pack, is it? No, it's not. Okay, well, I'll figure something out. I mean, if anything, I'm sure there's some kind of player detector or something like that we can use, but anyways. And then out here, we have, I did make these. These are planters. Right here, I didn't dye them. They're just the standard clay block planters from Terraquis. And then peonies inside of them, which you can get alchemy catalyst. Just work your flowers up to get those. And yeah, look at that view. I love the view from up here. It's just great. And those chests are all my stuff. The building process chests. I've got to clean them all out now that this build is pretty much done. I mean, it's just filled up with like junk. And then the other side of this is pretty much identical. Pretty much identical to the other side. And then I have these. These are the glowstone quarter spheres. And I've kind of got them as just like sconces right there. So yeah, that is that is the build. It has taken a while. It has taken quite a while. Honestly, this is the longest episode that it's ever taken to record an episode. It is the longest that I think I've ever done, like from starting an episode to finishing an episode, because it's been like 3 days since I started this episode. By the way, these bamboo trees, they will not grow on the forest grass from Misty World, so I have actual grass blocks. And one thing I almost forgot to mention, I did add a silk upgrade to this. So I have 3 haste and a silk upgrade, plus a backpack upgrade and vein upgrade for our axe pickful. Because it just made getting grass a whole lot easier. Because like up there, I just used, I transplanted 1 piece of grass and let it spread. Here I've got, this is all forest grass except for like there's a grass block, there's a grass block, and I had to put down grass blocks for where all of these bamboo trees are planted. So I figured that would be a lot easier if I just did silk upgrade for that. And that's just crafted like that. It's super cheap. At this point anyways, because I can make slime easily enough and there's emeralds aplenty over at our base. And I think the next building I'm going to work on is some kind of like centralized storage building, I will say that I don't know if I'm going to do it between this episode and next, or because I'm going to do another small build. I don't know. I may not do all the building in episodes like this. I don't know. It just depends. But I am planning on doing like a smaller building off, maybe over there on the other side of this little pond. I'm actually thinking about expanding this pond out a little bit and kind of decorating and actually keeping this water here because I quite like it. And then, we've got this bridge that kind of crosses over it, and I think it looks kind of nice. And then we got this like little pond area, I don't know, lake. Not quite big enough to be a lake, so we're just gonna call it a pond. But what I'm thinking is then the pathway will kind of wrap off in this direction, and so I may have a building setting off on that side, or somewhere around in here that's gonna do processing for this bee temple. So I may do it off camera, I may do it on camera, I don't know. And I'm still debating if I want to put rails throughout the rest of this temple. I have rails here that are done with glowstone. I have used quite a bit of glowstone for all the lighting and everything. Quite a few glowstone blocks, but I've got that glowstone farm. Those things grow like crazy fast. They really do. And then I have this rail back here. But I don't know that I actually want railing throughout the rest of the temple. I'm not really settled on that. I think I actually kind of like it like no railing, because I don't feel like it needs railing. I think anybody that has business in the bee temple knows not to stand on the edge and fall off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they need handrails, but I think for the most part this is pretty well done, unless I find some other blocks I want to decorate, and then we've got to move the stuff into here. But I think for the most part this is start to finish done. Anything else that I would add would be minor or like progression-y, resource-y type stuff. And I know this is a little bit different than most of the episodes. This is the first time I've ever done just an episode that's nothing, well, aside from Farming Valley, because that was kind of a build-centric series. But this is the first time I've ever done an episode that's pretty much just focused on building. We came to this new dimension, so I guess you could argue that that's kind of progression-y. But, for the most part, it's just being like, we come to the dimension, oh look, dimension, and then jump cut, like building, jump cut, building, jump cut, building, jump cut for the whole episode. But let me know down in the comments if you guys like this type of episode, because I had a lot of fun working on it. It took a long time. It's not something I could do like every episode. But by the way, there are sconces down here as well, just so that this place lights up at night. I wanted it to be visible from a distance and kind of light up and look really good at night. So I did add lights around. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys like this type of episode, if you want to see more like this, you know, whenever I'm doing big build projects. I mean, like I said, I can't do them every episode, but, you know, maybe every few episodes or something if I'm working on a project. And then if I'm doing a big build project and I have to do, like, progression episodes in between, I mean, I can always do that and then release all the footage, you know, from before. And I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. So let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I know it's a bit different than stuff I've done in the past, but let me know if you guys enjoyed it. Probably the most time-consuming episode I've taken, but it's stuff that I would have been doing off camera anyways, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the build. It's honestly, I dare say it's probably one of my favorite builds that I've ever done, just because, I don't know, like there's something about it. I quite like it anyways. I know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I quite like it. It's a little bit different than my original plan. I will say that. It's a little bit different. I wasn't planning on having the top section or the big hive inside of there, but I don't know. Like I was like, oh yeah, there's honeycomb blocks, and there's actually a variety of honeycomb blocks. If you take a look here, like all of these are different kinds of honeycomb blocks, and they're just honeycombs, which I have, I don't know, I have like 80 stacks of those things. I figured might as well, and I started building it, and then I quite liked it. I was like, I don't know, I like this big, like, queen hive up there for some reason. So, and that's not to say we're not going to use the hive blocks elsewhere. I have an idea for a build that I may or may not do. I tend to have a lot of ideas for series, like, for builds, and then I don't do them all, you know. I keep them written down. So, like, later on, I can always, like, refer to it and maybe do a build centered on that or something. But I do have an idea for another build that might use the honeycomb blocks. We'll see if we end up doing it within the series. I don't know for sure. But oh, and one other thing before I forget. I was about to end out the episode, but one thing before I forget. I did upgrade, or I did change out the nodes on our cloak. So, for example, from, like, up here, if I just drop, I don't take any fall damage. We are immune to fall damage, lava, and I have the extra node for on fire. At least for now, because like this flight source and then like building and stuff like that, I ended up changing it over because I was taking so much damage from falling off of stuff because drones would spawn on one end of the building and they would knock me off, and I'd take a little bit of fall damage, and then I would end up getting hungry and have to eat more. And so I just, which I do need to restock on food because I'm down to 18. I'm trying to keep it like decent, but. Anyways, I know it's wrapping up point for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. And let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. If you like this style and everything, do let me know. And also, if you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. So next episode, we'll probably continue on with some progression stuff and... yeah, get back into that. Maybe start moving some stuff into this building. I'm not going to cover too much bee stuff on camera, but bee progression-based stuff, because we're about to move into quite a few new machines related to bees and stuff like that, so we will be covering some of that on camera. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys next time.